so our players sometimes help understand it's a 1-2-2 or a 2-1-2. But with what Hitch has got our players understanding now is that, and it goes right to what I spoke to in terms of introducing this topic, is that our players have to understand the ability to read and then execute the skills for us to create the pressure that we want to turn pucks over and then generate offense. Right? So do you understand kind of where I'm coming from here? Like, we could put up a 2-1-2 there and describe it for you, and or for our players more importantly, but we think that the best way for us to execute strong defense with the right amount of pressure at the right time is to get them to understand those cues. And then break it down further and have them understand. So when our D-men, we talk about pinching down the wall on a second man or a second pass pinch, and we say puck is 100%, then tell me what do you think are some of the requirements then to have a D pinch down the wall to have the best chance for success?
Stick on the ice.
Stick on the ice, absolutely. Great point.
Get in front of the guy.
Yeah, so you want to have real good body position, right? So sticks on the ice. Think specifically, is there any time that your skates, you might want your skates positioned in a certain way, right? So you might, at some point for a defenseman, as the puck comes down and that's going to get jammed up, that it might make sense, not always, but it might make sense for him to go heels to the boards, right? As tight to that player as he could get, knowing that there's no way for that guy to chip the puck by him. So that is really what we're talking about, right? We can't just say D-man pinch. We have to say D-man pinch, and we have to rep them in practice with the things that they need to do that. And we do. Similarly, when we talk on the other side of the coin of offensive team play, knowing that everybody pinches now, we need to arm our forwards with what? The ability to have that defenseman come screaming down the wall at 6'4", 250 pounds with only one objective, and that's to tear his head off. So how do we get that, 5'10" player to understand that we can arm him with the ability through skill work to get that puck and protect it and make a play to get us out of the zone? Can't just tell him to do it, or you could, but you may not have the success you need, right? So you have to think in those terms. Anyway, here's track and reload. And this is, if you define our team, this is how you define our team. The success of our team in so many ways is that this idea, and if you get your players to buy in and play this way, you will have tremendous success. Why? Because you put immediate pressure on teams as they try to exit and go the other direction. You create outnumbered situations where you can turn the puck over. And then not only that, what is the beauty of having 5 guys hustling back when you turn the puck over is you now have at least 4 guys available in support on offense to go back the other way. Not just 1 or not just 2, but you got 5 back ready to go. So this is a point of emphasis that we speak to all the time and reinforce: 5 hard strides over the top, all 5 players on one half of the ice. So we're going to squeeze the play as much as we can. So as we return out of the offensive situation, cut the ice in half. If the puck's over here, you should see 5 Blues players on this half of the ice, returning back. So forwards chase all the way back. If the forward can't catch the puck carrier, keep coming. Or sorry, if he can catch him. So in other words, again, trying to help our players understand. So on the back check, the guys, one of their players is exiting the zone. He's carrying the puck. So he's carrying the puck up the wall this way. We've got a forward working hard on our track and reload to get back on him. And if he can engage him and catch him, just keep coming. We're not going to tell him to come off. At some point, there might be some communication between a D and a forward here saying, D-man saying, I got him, which would maybe back that forward out of that situation. But in general, we're going to try and get the forward to push that puck all the way back. D have the one-on-one from the blue line, so at some point you've got to get that situation sorted out. So we're saying in general, most of the time, our D will play the one-on-one from the blue line back. The tracking forward takes the ladder play. So again, simple hockey terminology. Offensive team play, ladder play for us, and you see it a lot, and you have to have a plan to deal with it. So you have a posted player on the offensive team here. Puck is coming up this way. He just steps over as that puck goes, and he just pops it out here. So that's the ladder, okay? So now, how are you going to defend that and deal with it as this guy continues to drive through? So in our situation, what we talk about then, the tracking forward takes the ladder. So we've got a forward working from the inside here, back checking against this guy, all the way back at the blue line. He kicks that puck out. We're going to switch responsibility and go after that, as opposed to the D-man that's playing this guy stepping up on that guy. Okay, so that's how we'll handle that. This is the D-man's guy. On any delay or tight turn, that's his guy. right? Because the offensive objective here is create time and space, wait for other people to come through. So they may have a middle drive happening. They might have a wide guy coming there, but most certainly they've got a fourth man on the attack driving into those areas. So that's when we talk about forwards responsible for all trailing players. Guys coming late on their back check for us, or their returns are coming back to make sure we look after these guys. That D is stepping up on that guy. That's his responsibility, okay? So that's how we'll play those situations. And if you watch our team play, absolute benchmark of us, and it's the way we need to play to have success. I think most teams would say the same thing, but our guys have bought in an amazing way and do a great job of it. Neutral zone forecheck, just some very quick stuff here. Again, the point was when I put this presentation together, wasn't to give you sort of all the detail and break down our structure, but just show you some of the key points here. And again, is there any label on there? Like if I asked you now if we were playing a 1-2-2 or a 2-1-2 in the neutral zone, could you tell me? It probably will look most often like a 1-2-2. But there's also situations where we absolutely want to get up the ice and create pressure. So a puck that's just chipped out just over our blue line out into the neutral zone, why would we only send one and give them a chance to sort of reestablish their offense and get going? It makes sense for us to push up there as best we can, making a good decision at the right time to create numbers up the ice. But that defines a little bit of how we would set up our neutral zone forecheck in a situation where, and that was delays, meaning a deeper counter. Delay counter for us means deeper inside their blue line where they have full possession, eyes looking up ice, they've got people coming back, they're going to skate prescribed routes. That's how we in general would try to defend that. A little bit more in chip outs where we would be a bit more aggressive, and that's what I'm speaking to. Maybe it makes some sense at times to be a bit more aggressive. And then here's a little bit of our D zone coverage. Again, no labels. Right? So we're not talking swarm defense, or we're not talking box and one, or any of those things. There's no label up there to tell you what it is, but it helps. It really works to define some roles. So letting this one-on-one take place is really important. So if I'm checking you, you have the puck, I'm marking you, and then he is in support of me back here, is that part of his job is to make sure that he lets me play this one-on-one out. He doesn't get too involved too early so that he gets sucked into this, and then he passes through to a guy that he should have been playing on. So let this one-on-one take place. You need to trust that I can do this job. Okay? That's really in part what we're talking about. So let that one-on-one take place. Then ride your check back to the net. Don't check and recheck. So for us, again, difference in philosophy from team to team possibly, but for us, the way we want to play this situation is common in games where a puck gets skated up the wall by an offensive team. There's a defenseman marking him, right? Good with that? So then this player cycles the puck down the wall. So some teams will say, okay, fine, switch there, and now you pursue that puck, right? Come off of this check, hand him off somewhere else, and you pursue that puck. For us, we don't allow that to happen. We say, don't check and recheck it. So in other words, he cycles up, he goes up the wall with the puck, get him under pressure, he cycles it back down. We're going to stay and ride your check. Stay with them. Trust that these guys will take the next one-on-one, so it's likely a forward and support there. If they've got another player here, that guy picks up that one-on-one is going to play that. So it sounds like it's one-on-one hockey, but it's really, it's areas of responsibility, a little bit of zone, a little bit of combination of one-on-one. And one of the things that we are going to change this year is when a puck goes up top, we're going to talk about playing 5 one-on-ones now from this point. Right? So we get up and we mark that. That's guys, this is the other forward's responsibility. If you wanted to start to do that, there's responsibility there's responsibility there, and assuming they have a guy net front, that's what we're going to do. So we're going to play that just when the puck's up top. Because what it does is, sorry, I'll let you ask your question here in a second. Because what we're seeing way more now in the game is much more of a high zone attack, especially at the NHL level. So the F3 is no longer, kind of down in this area. He's at times an exaggerated F3, much higher and away from the net than we've normally seen before. So when the puck comes up here, it often goes D to D and then into this guy, or it might come into this guy and out D to D. And it really presents some tough coverage questions for, is this the net front D's guy? Do we expect him to widen out that far? Or he may have come out of a cycle situation, so he could be dragging his defenseman all the way across, and that's not a real comfortable position for a defenseman. unless you tell him that we're playing 5 one-on-ones and that's your guy. Then it becomes comfortable. So we're going to try it, and we'll see how it works. That'll be an adjustment for us going forward. So was
Yeah, just a quick question. Well, that play, the D to D and then feeding the guy to the middle, we used quite a bit last year, and it really worked well.
Yeah.
The question I have is, off that cycle there, that D-man's been following his man, marking him up the boards. The guy moves it down low. The D-man, do you tell him to make sure he's pivoting to the puck, or is he pivoting to the player?
Yeah, he should try as best he can. He's not going to allow that player to get offensive ice beyond him.
Side.
Yes, with the ability then to shoulder check and see where that puck's at.
Okay, so is he turning with the player?
Yes, so he should be, yes, exactly. So as I drew it up there, or hopefully I drew it up that way. So as this guy cycles up, or drives up the wall and then cycles the puck back, this D-man is marking him. As this guy continues his route now after cycling the puck, that we're going to go and we're going to reverse pivot. So we're going to maintain body position on the defensive side of this, not allow this forward to get offensive ice, but with the ability now, again, if you can imagine where his feet are positioned, probably on some sort of a diagonal so that he can visually see into the corner to where that puck's at, while also being able to quick shoulder check and see his guy, his man.
So on that pivot, he's pivoting facing the man?
Yes,
Okay.
most times. Again, it's he might skate forward the whole way, like especially if he feels like, you know, there's certain guys. Taves is an example, will come in, he'll cycle this puck back, and then he's going to shoot hard through that seam. Well, that defenseman may not feel very comfortable there, so he might just skate forward with him the whole way and try to maintain defensive side position.
It doesn't matter as long as you stay with them
Yeah.
until there's a change of possession.
Yeah.
All down low mistakes happen when you check and recheck. So once you're riding, you got to stay with it until the puck turns over.
What time did I start?
Thanks.
Do you know?
What's that?
What time did I start?
Free time.
So what time did I start though, approximately, do you think?
You started.
2:35, 2:40? Okay, thanks. All right, so let's have a look then at some quick video stuff, and that's, and then there's some. Okay. Can I ask a favor?
You bet.
Can I get you to just press play and pause for me so I can speak this? Thank you. So all it is just play and stop. That's all it is. Okay, so these are some forecheck clips from our team.
Spacebar?
Yeah. Crazy.
Greg, do you want the lights off or?
Yeah, wait, is it better to see?
Yeah, it'd be better to see where you are.
Where are they at? Anybody?
I'll see if I can find them here. So.
They're probably handy somewhere.
Is that them right on the side?
No, it's.
Inside the door? I don't know. May not be an option.
There's a light right here. Right there. Oh, is that it? Or is that? There we go.
Good. I thought that was going to bring the chair. Okay, good. So on some of these forecheck clips, you'll see a little bit of what I'm talking about in our system. So the little label here should help you too. So forecheck rotations to an offensive opportunity. So here comes RF1 in a situation. Go ahead. So he's there, stop. So the other thing that we talk about in our whole defensive team play, as well as our offense, both sides of the coin, is our second man quick. So when our second man, Jaden Schwartz, gets there ahead of their guy, it's our possession. Okay, so we got in pretty good on that puck, created at least an opportunity for a loose puck. Then our second man beat their second man there. So our second man quick was better than theirs. Okay, go ahead. Stop. So now their guy comes in, does a real good job, knocks him off the puck, and creates position, right? So that's real good defensive play by them, good checking technique, stick on the ice, body position, etc. But here goes, you know, another part of this element, which is second and third efforts. So Schwartzy gets knocked down, go ahead. He gets up, lifts the stick, steals the puck. Now look at those evasive moves that we talked about. where he's sitting on that edge, getting back, protecting the puck, and he's going to make the play that he wants to make when it's the right thing to do, right? So now he's done an outstanding job to take away the puck. Yep. We're creating some motion away from it, and we get the puck hard through to the net. Stick, stop. So right there, you saw Schwartz come in again. First thing is Steen gets in, ties up stick. Then Schwartz comes in, and so the gentleman that made the point about your stick position, you'll see that over and over and over again in all of these clips. So Schwartzy comes into this with his stick down on or near the ice and whacks that puck this way and gives us a chance at a free puck. If he comes into that situation looking for big hit, stick on his hips, or if in case of a right-handed shot, stick up here looking to get this big shoulder lean in there, that he might get contact, but that puck is then played by them where they want it to go. So his stick position is absolutely critical. Okay, go ahead, thank you. So we rotate across. We started, you see there, stop. So you started to see those 5 hard strides. That puck was a little bit in jeopardy, so we didn't have anybody linger here, hoping that we would turn that puck over. We're going to get above it as best we can and as quick as we can. So we turn the puck over, partly based on Backus's position and stick position. Go ahead, create loose puck. And there's our attack opportunity. Yeah, go ahead. Yep. So now you start to see similar things again. So here's Berglund in on the puck, bobbles, stop. So now, TJ Oshie comes in with skating pressure, and if we had the ability to back this clip up, what you would see was him nervous, right? He was very concerned about somebody coming off his hip and possibly getting contact on him. Not because he's afraid, he's just nervous. He's trying to protect the puck. So Oshie comes in, sets a tremendous angle on this, giving him ability to get his hips ahead of his hips, his hands ahead of his hands. So now he just steps in front, and it's our puck. Stick position was outstanding. Go ahead. Creates a turnover, loose puck back to our D. No option, so we put it back low again. Stop. So Perron again with body position and sticks right on the ice. Even though it's one hand, stick right on the ice, right into Robin Regehr. This is a physical mismatch for sure, but with great body position, little bit of a bump, seals him off. No way Regehr can get to this loose puck. Great body position by Oshie. Go ahead. Our puck again. Start our cycle, our possession, active D off the blue line, scoring chance. Face-off loss. Perron with great stick. Stop. So now, again, not going with the idea that we're going to headhunt here. If your stick on puck leads you to contact, fair enough, right? But, and there are certainly guys on our team that would look for a physical hit there, no question about it, especially in this series. But Berglund's stick, as he comes into this with angle, an understanding of the angle, and his stick position on the ice, hard return, 5 hard strides there, this guy over top of the play. So we have 3 where they have everybody on the outside. Okay, go ahead. Create numerical advantage, and we attack. Cycle, body position, we lose it, no big deal. Oshie hard on the puck, stop. So right there, Berglund's return, he's not sniffing over here. He's already started an inside path on the way back. He's already thinking on the way back, but he lifts his stick because he comes right through the middle of the ice. We understand that, like us, LA wants to come through the middle of the ice and all their little exits. So this guy tries to pop a puck into an area where Berglund's read it, and now he strips him and goes. If his stick's on his hip, there's no chance. Go ahead. Play back at the net. Oshie on the hunt. Stop. And I'm going to see if I can back that up because it's neat. It's a good, really good clip. Oh, what do I have to do here? Yeah. So that's Jake Muzzin, their defenseman there. And this is now, what is this, game 3. So in the first 2 games, Jake Muzzin's been hit half a dozen, 8, 10 times real hard. He's picked himself up off the ice and wondered where he's been. So now he's going to go back. He's checking his shoulder like any good defenseman should. He's going to go back on a loose puck, thinking he's going to wheel. Excellent route by Oshie to come in, cut it off, and then flush him out this way. Okay, so go. Yeah, good. And yeah, just a little more. Stop. So now, this is Berglund coming in. Keep in mind what I just said about this guy, right? He's been pasted 8, 10 times. Watch where he puts the puck. right on Berglund's stick, and if his stick is on his hips, right, anywhere else but where it should be, because who's he trying to give the puck to? His stick is in the next best passing lane. There it is. So again, point is, what is our system? What are we talking about? 2-1-2, 1-2-2, etc. Doesn't really matter. We've created F1 pressure. We're not going to lose 2. We're going to lose 1 if we have to. Stick in the next best lane. Stick on the ice. Real good anticipation as he comes in here, knowing based on the information we've given the players that this is a pass they would like to make. Stick or puck goes right on his stick. Yep. Okay. They go over. Now they have a little return play. So now again, they want to come through the middle. Perron's stick is in the air, but watch as he comes closer to the play. Stick down and underneath, a little stick lift. Patient play here, letting this one-on-one take place. 5 hard strides. Okay, go ahead. Create the puck, the turnover. Transition, D up on the attack. We have offensive zone time going. Hard work in fourth line for us. Contact, stop. So right there, any comments on Ryan Reeves' contact position? Anything positive, negative that sticks out at you?
We separated him from the puck on the edge.
He did?
The stick's in the air.
Right here, right? So we preach all the time, and we have to work harder with Ryan and other guys on our team. He is scaring the crap out of these guys, no question about it. But if he can just go stick on puck here and get that puck stopped so they can't make the next play through, way better for us. But he does, his physical element has an impact, no question. Okay, thanks, go ahead. So we get Cracknell in, knocks his guy down. Now, stop. Now we're talking solid play. Body position, stick on the ice, so he recovers from this little mistake possibly, but he gets in, he seals this guy off, big Dustin Penner, gets his body in front of his with body position, forces him right out of the play. So is this an offense or a defensive tactic? How does it, well, it's our forecheck. It's a defensive tactic that takes us to offense immediately, just based on body position, okay? Right straight to the net. Whack, whack, whack. Story of our series right there. Opportunity after opportunity. So again, Reaver, physical play, sticks right on up here somewhere. This pass or this play goes right through it. Okay, go ahead. But stick position, 5 hard strides, stick position. Again, if sticks are in the air there, they're making plays all over, all the way through us. D active on our attack. I think that's probably it. Okay. And there's just one more. Let's see if I can get to it. That I'll show you, and then I'm done. Or I'll close to done. Look at this. Sorry, there's 2 more. Okay. These 2 clips, real good. Defensive zone play. Defending on the rush. See 4 guys back right away for us against their 3. Go ahead. Get our guys back. Create battles. Good body position. Turnover. Out to the weak side. Gets jammed up. Stop. So when that puck goes out the weak side, that would be ideal for us, but he gets jammed up there a little bit. So that's Alex Pietrangelo. Tremendous defenseman with body position and a willingness to protect the puck, and then his use of skill to just push it through. And then our desire to play with risk, to leave our own end and make this short pass right through the middle of the ice, just like LA was trying to do. But you have to have the courage, A, to protect the puck there, and B, to skate a proper route in that with timing. Stick on the ice gives us a chance to transition. So coming out of great defensive zone coverage, yeah. We now have an opportunity, even with our weak side D joining our attack, to go. One last second one here. Yeah, go ahead. So contact in the corner. Jay Bouwmeester seals this guy off. Go ahead. Our first forward back is Backus there. They try to play through. His stick isn't quite on the ice, the LA players. So now Backus is able to whack the puck into an area where Petro can get it. His feet are moving, support, and transition. So out of solid defensive play, we get a chance to play offense, 70-30 rule. Just one more. And away we go. And then these are interesting to finish. So this is Reaver again. This might be game 1, I think. So contact here, coming up, second contact, stop. Again, point is his stick position, right? Great contact, and pretty soon you're going to start to see people in the stands jumping up and down here because they love what's going on. But he's knocked his guy down. Okay, go ahead. Their second man quick beats ours. Reaver gives it away. Wham, stop. So now he's raced at this guy. He's a little bit ticked off, so he's bowled him over now. But again, the point here is that stick position and body control and awareness of what's going on. I understand very well what Ryan Reeves is for our team, as do you and most other people. But he's still got to get an element of his game cleaned up so that when he runs at this guy, he's got a better chance of just creating separation and loose puck so that he can apply what is really good skill that he has. But he's giving himself, or he's losing opportunities. Okay, go ahead. So now the guy stopped. So the guy that he bowled over is right there. That's Ryan. So that guy, yeah, he hit him hard, but he's up quicker. He's got the puck, and now, go ahead. They get an offensive chance coming off it. So we need to stop. We need to take Ryan's effort and energy, everything that's involved there, and just help him with a few more tools, right? So that puck becomes his puck. Okay, go ahead. Okay, so we got a really good solid stick position and body position coming up, just on a straight one-on-one. Okay, go ahead. Stop. So now you're going to focus on Roman Polak here. So he's playing a little bit of a 2-on-1 here because they've same-sided the puck here. So now you're going to see the puck come out wide and watch his body position, his skating position, and his stick as he finishes this play. Stop right there. So how about that for a pivot against a guy with speed and space to be able to turn, stick to puck, and then Roman Polak is like a physical god. Like, this man's a 200 and whatever pound guy. He's a physical specimen, and nobody wants to get hit by him, so watch. He just manhandles the guy, great stick position. He controls the puck based on all of the things he did leading himself into that contact against Clifford. His puck, go ahead, punches it down to his partner to a weak side where we have another opportunity. And I left it going here because if he just has better stick, we're probably in good position, and we're not going to waste for a moment Roman's play. So that's Chris Porter with a stick right up here looking for huge contact. Okay, go ahead. Sticks right up high. So again, body position, good job by Roman. Manhandles another guy. Create the loose puck, and there's the transition we have to have. Him skating and moving the puck. Yep, go ahead. So Jackman, stick on ice, or stick on puck coming up here. He gets contact, his stick is in a decent position because now he's able to get the puck, used his body, stop. So offensively, in the offensive zone, I made the point that we make the play when we want to make it. So Jackman has the puck here, checks this way once, he knows this guy's here, so he doesn't make that play. Checks this way now, sees his support here. Yep, so there's our transition, 70-30, away we go. Okay. So Berglund goes in on contact. Here's Perron with stick position and body position on Voyanov. Yep, go ahead. We get the puck stalled, not stopped, but now we get real good position coming in on the angle here. Gets his toe caps going the right way, so if nothing good happens, he's headed the right direction. Puck gets turned over, and because we worked 5 hard strides, we give ourselves a chance to turn the puck over and go back. Play continues, we come off the bench, we set angles again, and play cuts off. But a real good job of setting angles. Now watch this play, stop. So this again is Pietrangelo here. I want you to watch and appreciate how well he sets his feet and his hands against Dustin Brown. So this is a real good player, and he's got full possession of the puck. Go ahead, stop. So he comes into that situation and goes stick over his stick and down. Squeezes Brown's stick right to the ice, and with his angling position through here, now you see the effect of that in terms of body position by Pietrangelo. Stick has got the puck in control. Go ahead, and away we go. Just makes a little saucer pass over this guy's stick, and out we go. There's Roman again, similar type play, just a good pivot. And then he's in a position to skate and control the puck. I think that's it. Good. You just click those on. So that's it. That's kind of the point that I wanted to make. On point of emphasis there is there's our structure. You see it being applied, but all of the things necessary within it that we have to do. So that's at our level. But I think at every level beyond that, including ours, is our ability as coaches to help our players by giving them the tools that they need to perform all the things. So when we start to talk systems and structure and all the current buzzwords, that we're giving them everything that they need to have some level of success on offense and defense. And the other point that we have to make there too is that we sometimes allow ourselves to segregate the game by offense, by defense, by special teams. The game is a constant flow. Other than when the puck is stopped and then puck is dropped again, hockey is flow, back and forth. So there's really very little time of neutral. Either you're attacking or you're being attacked. And so there's so little separation. And so we sometimes need to stop thinking in offense versus defense, because the two have to go hand in hand. So again, leads right into his philosophy of never in practice do we start a team play drill and end in the same spot. We don't start at D-zone coverage and end in D-zone coverage. We start in D-zone and we transition to offense, or vice versa. Or we start in the neutral zone and we attack, and then maybe we come all the way back to D-zone. All right, so we try to blend that and create that understanding, and then the final point is just making sure they arm themselves, or we arm them with all that they need to apply everything that we ask of them. And that's a big challenge, not easy. I understand that, and it's going to challenge you as a coach to take everything that you have in mind for your players and break it down, and then create drills and repetition situations where they can begin to understand and apply those and become really good at them. Okay? Good. That's it. Thanks.
So if you just go to the 17 tips to leading millennials, this is some of this was taken from a symposium in Vancouver, and it's really relevant. I use a lot of this with my team, to be honest with you, and what I want to try to do is get you to understand the age group you're dealing with, and then also how to manage your team on a game day, how to manage your team on a practice day better, and just some different ideas. Not all of these tips are relevant for athletics, but they are in some ways. So this is just the feedback from millennials. So this isn't some guy standing up there deciding how to do it. This is the feedback from the information from the kids. So if you just look at number 2, create a family environment. Work, family, and social are all intertwined. The work environment is family oriented. So here's one of the things that came out from the millennials. They love the fact that you as parents are involved. They love the fact that they can socialize with other parents on road trips. They love it. And it's different than my generation. It's like, why the fuck are you here? But this is a different generation, and the social activity that goes with your team for the kids of this day and age, they really appreciate it. They really appreciate the fact that you create a family environment, not just with the people on the team and the coaching staff and the training staff, but with the parents also. So being able to do that is really important. Cause is important. One of the things that really came out on the cause is important is having something to play for other than wins and losses. Wins and losses doesn't resonate with athletes as much as we think it does. What resonates is a cause. Like why, if you can create, for instance, give you an example. If I said to you, what are your goals for this season? What would you say? If you were coaching a team, what would your goals be for your season?
To be better players at the end of the year than you are when you first step on the ice.
Okay, what else? So you're playing in a league, everything else. What would be a goal? What would be a goal for your team?
To see improvements on like 5-game periods of the season, see noticeable differences.
Yeah. So here's how millennials look at it. What we saw as goals: winning the league, improvement in our team game, being first in the conference, first in the division, goals against. They see that as destinations. That doesn't resonate with millennials now. What resonates with millennials now is getting to know each other better, wanting to make friends, holding each other accountable, understanding about building a team atmosphere in a locker room. That's what millennials want. They view what we think as goals, they view that as a destination, not as a goal. And to me, the cause are the goals. And if you can create an atmosphere where you really put forward ideas to get to know each other more, to get to understand each other more, to have more compassion for each other, and to hold each other more accountable, they really appreciate that cause.
Is that new word, Ken? Be a better person? That's what I heard last year.
Yeah.
I want my son to be a better person.
Yeah, I think that's relevant. I think they understand that. To me, I think the word that's more important is be a better teammate.
Okay.
Be a better teammate, because they feel really connected to that stuff. I know it's the old adage, embrace social media, tech-savvy generation. It's interesting. I have 23 players last year on my team. 19 had no voicemail. 19 out of the 23 on their cell phones had no voicemail. I can't leave a message. But if I want to get a hold of a player, if I text him 30 seconds later, he's called me. If I just dial the number, let it ring once and hang up, he's got me back in a minute. So you need to understand that. And it's important that anything to do with social media is not distracted. But what really infuriates kids now, especially the ones with any conscience, is when when you are doing something, you're having a meeting, you're having a discussion, and they got their heads down and they're looking at their cell phones. We all have rules for that. The only rule that works is you must keep the phone far enough away that they can't get to it while you're having conversation. So turn it off, doesn't work. Put it in your pocket, doesn't work. Put it away from them. Move it somewhere where they actually have to get up and walk, or it's far enough away where they can't have an activity with it. And when you're understanding something, you need to embrace social media and you need to use it the right way. So to me, I communicate with our players through texting or email. I communicate if I want to congratulate, and I'll walk you through the story in our locker room, just something a little bit different for you. If I want to congratulate a player on the ride home, I'll text him. I'll say to David Backus, you did a great job in leading us today. You know, really appreciate the job you did on Taves, and see you tomorrow at practice. That's the way I communicate with our players now. Because in our avenue, I have 10 minutes from the time the buzzer goes off. I have 10 minutes total. That doesn't include the 3-star selection and the post-game interviews for television and radio. By the time the players are in the locker room as a complete group, I have 90 seconds to say something. And then the doors open and the media comes in. And it's the same in minor hockey. You know, you play the game, you fling open the doors, the players are gone, they're getting dressed. In younger cases, mom and dad is in there working with the skates and everything, taking the gear off. You don't get much time. So embracing social media using it to congratulate the players is something that they really appreciate and understand. Leading them uniquely. This is something that's really important. The customizing your approach, what I mean by that is understanding that what drives athletes nuts is when they think you're not hearing them now, when they think you're not an active listener. So even in our generation and our team, if a TV's on in the background, or if there's a TV overhead and I'm having an interview with a player, anytime my eye contact moves somewhere else other than what he's saying and I'm not an active listener, they click off. They're gone. They don't respect you. They don't appreciate that you're not listening. If you can't make active eye contact, then they feel like you don't care. And that was universal between athletics and academics. So when you're talking to your players, you need to close off the area to be an active listener. And the one thing that you need to ask that isn't comfortable for you is when you're questioning their behavior, or you're asking them for something, or you want something from them, you need to ask the question. They want to know why, and you need to ask the question, how do you feel about doing this? They're going to ask you why, and you need to ask that, and you need to ask the question, how do you feel about doing this? I'll give you an example. We're playing Los Angeles. First 2 games, I tell a player, this is what we need you to do. He looks at me, he nods. He's not doing too good on the job we want. Game 3, I said, we gave you this task. We felt you could handle it. How do you feel about it? And he just explodes. He can't do it. He doesn't know why. I asked him to do this. He doesn't think he's capable of it. He understands the team needs it, but he doesn't think he's qualified. I forgot to ask him how he felt about it. I just asked him to do the task, but I forgot to ask him how he felt about it. And I know in previous generations, even from me when I started coaching in the 70s and 80s, you just tell the guy to do it, he did it. But it doesn't work that way anymore. So they're going to ask you why, and you need to ask them how you feel about this. Authenticity and honesty. Man, do they ever see through that. This is a real cynical generation. And they see it as, unless you're honest and unless you're authentic, they're already skeptical. They're going to look right through you. So your approach needs to come from that basis all the time. Number 10, not working for a personality. I guess the best way to describe it, what works in our generation now and working with this generation, the millennials, what works now is level leadership. So what doesn't, like if you look at the military, what works in the military now is in top fighting forces, they don't have a captain, they don't have major, they don't have colonel. Everybody has a name. And the players really appreciate the fact that you're in the same level as them. The other thing that's really interesting is, and I know we all do it, one thing that the players don't respect anymore, which was a shock to me and a real eye-opener. Since I've been a coach, we run special teams meetings. Penalty killers go in, have a meeting, power play goes in and have a meeting, and then we have a team meeting. And I've done it for 20 years. This generation's offended by it. Why can't I be in the power play meeting? Why can't I be in on the penalty killing meeting? So when you're running special teams meetings, When you're not including people, already they're disjointed. And it was a shock to me because I just thought you did it all the time. But this generation does not appreciate the divided spectrum of coaching. They want to be, they feel like everything should be level. They feel a lot more trustworthy and confident if everything's level. And I asked him at the end of the year, I said, how do you feel about not being on the power play meeting? I don't feel good about it at all, Coach. I don't respect you. Because he said, sometime, he said, if you ever have to put me out there and I don't know where I'm